Hey guys, Jim Chester coming to you live today. I got Dr. Rob Vasquez coming to you from around Dallas, Texas. And you do something really cool, Dr. Rob. You are a part of a group, Healthy, Happy Guys. Talk to us a little bit about that and why you guys started that movement.
Yeah, the Happy Healthy Guys. So it's myself and business partner, Dr. Randy Johns. He and I have been best friends in chiropractic for, since way back in like 2002. So if not before then, it's been a while. And so he's an unbelievably principled chiropractor. And with myself, we had some health challenges. About 8 years ago, he was diagnosed with metastatic melanoma. So he was given a few months to a year at most, at best, to live. And just coming from a chiropractic background, we knew for sure that, he wasn't going to get chemo, we weren't going to do radiation, we weren't going to go the traditional route with the cancer. And I get, that some people choose to do that, and he just wasn't going to go that route. And so we found a doc to be able to take care of him using the same principles that we teach in Spain. So he goes to Spain. I flew out there with him. I'm adjusting him every single day, multiple times every single day. He's just meeting with this doc and having him go through wellness protocols to support his body's innate ability to be able to heal. And fast forward 2 months after he got there, he walked out of there 100% cancer-free. It's now 7-8 years later, still no more cancer. And so where the Happy Healthy Guys came from was we felt like there was this gap that needed to be bridged, where people's interpretation of what chiropractic was and being able to bring that to a mainstream for people to be able to understand and recognize health principles without literally hitting them over the head with innate intelligence or universal intelligence and those kind of things. And so that really is where the Happy Healthy Guys was birthed. One day we were just kind of sitting around. We're actually here at where I'm sitting right now, and we just said, hey, let's do a Facebook Live and see what happens. And the response was overwhelming. We just started talking health and healing principles, and at the same time, we had been talking about some of the nutritional things that he had been doing, but also some of the nutritional things that I had been doing to be able to support my body, because I had blown out herniated discs at the exact same time that he had cancer. I could hardly stand up. I could hardly walk. But by doing the same things that he was doing with the cancer I started doing, I immediately lost over 65 pounds, and back pain was gone, still doing everything we talk about chiropractically speaking. So we're like, let's just start teaching people what we do as part of our lifestyle. And so that's where the Happy Healthy Guys came from, is just doing what it is that we do on a daily basis. As far as our lifestyle goes with my family, we do Happy Healthy Fridays, where I'll bring my family on and do a Facebook Live. So my daughter, who's 9 years old, she shows recipes that she's doing. We show her, talking about the importance of getting chiropractic adjustments and just what it is that we do as a family. So really, Happy Healthy Guys is more about a happy, healthy lifestyle. And we talk about the healthy, but on my side, the thing that I'm most passionate about is the happy part of it and the mindset that it takes in order to really live that happy, healthy lifestyle, which is where Strategic Purpose Academy that I do comes from, is making sure that we are living our lives on purpose. And so that's kind of how everything kind of morphed together. And that was where Happy Healthy Guys was birthed. And we've been coming on doing Facebook Lives now. We started back in, I think it was like April-ish. But we've been coming on weekly doing Facebook Lives every week since then. So it's been great.
Well, I honestly love it when I see you guys pop up in my, my notifications saying, hey, Happy Healthy Guys are going at it again, doing your Facebook Lives. And whenever I have, the availability to jump on, I love listening to you guys, because you guys are sharing real life principles with people. You guys are talking about the struggle. You guys are becoming more real, more transparent to people, so people can learn from you. And I think that that's really where we're going with the techie age of being able to go live and to share stories. It's not so much being scripted. It's more of having a conversation about what are we doing, how are we impacting people, what is innate intelligence, what is a subluxation, staying current with the vernacular, but also not forgetting where we come from.
Absolutely, because truth be known, I'd still rather eat ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But because of living a happy, healthy life and doing it on purpose, I don't choose to do that, but yeah, I mean, we get completely real with people. Randy's a lot better with it on that side of things than I am. I'll be honest with you, and he throws me under the bus quite a bit. But you know, teach his own on that. But yeah, we're just doing the best job that we can to be able to teach people how to live that happy, healthy lifestyle.
And recently, I came back from Alaska, and I came back from Pacific Northwest, and I got something in the mail. You guys sent me some of this stuff, and I have an actual container of it here. You guys mailed out to me, so thank you for sending this out to me. And why did you guys decide to start making the SCT oil, and how can people benefit from that?
You know, the reason we started making it is because when Randy was in Spain, and when we were eating as far as any kind of food there when we were in Spain, it's interesting because they don't have the challenges that we do when it comes to heart disease and cancer and all the illnesses that we have here. And even when you go into the store, I remember walking into a grocery store there, like all their eggs are just like out. They're not even refrigerated, right? They're like farm fresh eggs. They're just sitting there. And I go and you look on the shelves to look at the oil. We were getting some olive oil. There's just beautiful oil, especially there when you're getting it straight from the trees, right? And you look on the shelves, and like at the very bottom left-hand corner, there was this bottle, and you could tell that it was corn oil just by the color of it. It didn't even like look real. And it's sitting there on the shelf, and on the bottle, right across the bottle, it says in Spanish, Alcita mal, which stands for bad oil. They tell you right up front that this is bad oil for you. And then everything else was just loaded up with good oils. And so as we started researching and what Randy was going through is he was getting short chain triglycerides. And we've all heard of medium chain triglycerides, or MCT, but there's also a short chain triglyceride, which means that the chains are under 6 carbons long, which means it's easier for the body to digest. Okay. Not only is it easier for the body to digest, it's got a lot of healthy nutrient benefits because of the butyric acid that it has in it, which is great for decreasing inflammation, helping to boost the immune system. It helps to decrease lower the just chronic pain that comes along with inflammation. It's got all kinds of healthy benefits to it. And so we started searching around here in the United States for a source where we could be able to source this SCT oil. You can find MCT oil everywhere. In fact, like Bulletproof has their brain octane, which is actually a C8 oil. And in order for them to be able to get the C8, they have to take out the C10s and the C12s. C10s and C12s are what makes it solid at room temperature. So they actually have to fractionate the oil to make it liquid, which makes it harder for your body to digest. And so because it makes it harder for your body to digest, a lot of people that are just pounding these C8s or the MCTs, what'll happen with a lot of them is they'll get this like really bad stomach cramps, and nobody likes to be having stomach cramps, you know, and having this explosive diarrhea that comes along with that. But that's where that comes from, because it's harder for the body to digest them. So you don't have that with the short chains. So we went on the hunt to be able to get it sourced, and we couldn't find it anywhere. And it really just finally happened by accident that we came across a source, and we just said, hey, this is what it is that we want. This is how we want to make sure it's produced. So we've got a standardization process where it's got to go through these 10 steps in order to be able to produce pure SCT oil. And they said, yes, we'll absolutely do it for you. We said, when can you get that for us? And this is after we had finally started with the Happy Healthy guys. We didn't have a product or anything. And then we're like, oh my gosh, we finally have it. We got to get this out. And so we put a rush on it. And that's how SCT oil started. And it all started from that journey of being in Spain then to being here. And we just couldn't find it anywhere. So much so that as we were searching, where I'm like, really? There's not an sctoil.com? Okay, I guess we should go ahead and purchase that domain. So that makes it easy to be able to find it. It's at sctoil.com. But it's great because really it's got the digestive enzymes already in there. And that's what we want to get people to doing. I know there's a lot of people that do, for example, like the exogenous ketones in order to be able to get their body into ketosis. But that's not a natural state by introducing an exogenous ketone, because we want to make sure that the body is producing the ketones. We're really going to start talking about the innate intelligence and the intelligence of the body to produce that. The SCT oil, being a real food, allows the body to produce those ketones on its own the way it's supposed to. That way it's not like saying, hey, you know what, somebody's sick and they want to try to boost their immune system by pounding vitamin C. Well, if you're already in a state of dis-ease and you start pounding vitamin C, well, your body's already in a state of disease, right? And so So your body ends up just peeing out the vitamin C that it's not going to be using. So the same thing happens with the exogenous ketones. And so this product helps people to be able to get into a state of ketosis a lot easier, a lot more simple. In fact, the way I know, even for myself, that I'll be in a state of ketosis, like last week, I was out of town at a conference. And so Sunday, I'm like, all right, I'm going to start doing the SCT oil. So I started just eating it raw, the SCT oil, eating the way I normally do. Boom, yesterday morning, I can tell when I go into ketosis because my fingers start getting cold at the tips of your finger. Anybody that knows what it feels like to be in ketosis, and I'm like, boom, Monday morning, that's where my body was without the exogenous ketones, but actually putting real food into my body. So a benefit of the SCT oil is it helps to be able to boost your body's metabolism and put you into fat burning a lot faster as well. So that's some of the benefits of the SCT oil. I get excited talking about it. So
no, I think it's a huge benefit to share with people why you do what you do and how you came up with this SCT oil. And I'm looking forward to implementing it into my daily routine and to boost myself into ketosis quicker, because I am into the exogenous ketones, and I think that isn't going anywhere. And I think it's going to be something that, as a health model, people are going to be benefiting from exogenous ketones for a long time. It just depends on how you get it.
Yeah, exactly. So so this is, and it doesn't replace exogenous ketone, but it's more of an endogenous way in order to be able to get your body into a state of ketosis. So basically, it's like it puts it on steroids. In fact, hey, Dominique. So in fact, we were having a discussion with one of the foremost experts in ketosis. I won't say his name right now because we're working on something with him together. And he was pumped when he heard about the SCT oils because he's also familiar with exogenous and the endogenous ketones as well. And so he's super excited about that. And anyway, I can't wait till that gets released as well.
Well, I'm going to switch gears with you quick. I was really excited about talking about the SCT oil, and I know you were too. But I know there's something that you guys have done to help humanity and to really step over the line and to be on the front lines to serving at a higher purpose. And I know you're a very devoted man to the cause. Tell me what happened and why you guys decided to go down to Houston and help with the relief down there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we went down there. I got a call by another doc. His name is Dr. Chase Dice, and great doc. He's like, hey, Dr. Rick Wren contacted me, said he needs some docs to come down to Houston to go help out in relief efforts down there. And this was right after the hurricane had gone through, Hurricane Harvey had gone through there. And so I'm like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So we caravanned down to Houston, myself, along with a host of other docs. Tabor Smith was putting things together. Kimberly Gorman, she should get a Nobel Peace Prize for the work that she did. Holy moly. She is a chiropractor without a license, just has a gigantic heart, was getting food supplies sent down there for people that needed it. She was getting all kinds of other things down there for the folks in Houston. And as the chiropractors, we were basically just setting up tents in different stations in and around Houston at relief centers, places where people were also being sheltered or sleeping, had been sleeping there for a week already. And we're just bringing chiropractic care to them. And it was amazing. And it was really when you see the science, the art, and the philosophy of chiropractic just merge, because as we were adjusting people, you could absolutely see that with the power of an adjustment, turning on somebody's nervous system really was turning on the hope and the life inside their body. And you could be able to see that hope and that life light up in them. They were just hugging us, smiling. Kids were getting adjusted. I remember one of the kids that got adjusted, never been adjusted in her life. So, we weren't having to convince people about the fact that chiropractic worked, right? They were just lining up. We were doing a brief exam on them. They lay down on the table. We weren't having to explain to them, everything from DD to BJ or subluxation or anything like that. It's just like, all right, let's check your spine. Brain controls everything in the body. If there's anything interfering with that, you're not going to work. Let's make sure that you're working. Let's remove that interference. Lay down. And little girl, she may have been, and I posted on my Facebook, she may have been like maybe 5 or 6 years old. She lays down and gets adjusted. You can see like the life just turn on in her. She gets up off the table. She goes right to the table that's next to that table, lays down on that table. She's ready for her next adjustment. Less than 5 seconds after her first adjustment, the chiro who was adjusting on that table didn't realize that she had been getting adjusted on the other table. And so he's going to adjust her. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, she just got adjusted. And so she's ready to go again. But it was her. She had like 4 or 5 brothers and sisters, all of them getting adjusted, her mom getting adjusted. And then after getting the adjustment, them just saying, hey, you know what? Thank you guys so much for being here. Where can I find a chiropractor close to me? Because I want to continue to keep this going. Whatever it is that I just got today, I want more of that. And so that was amazing to be able to do that. And then on the flip side, to be able to really see reality when you see the life come on, and then you drive a couple blocks away to actually see the devastation that happened as a result of the hurricane and see people's entire homes on the curb because they had to set everything out to let it dry off, and these people that had literally just left everything. But I will say this, for a community that had just lost everything, I saw more smiles in those people those few days that we were there than I do here and around Dallas-Fort Worth, where people have everything. They haven't lost their whole lives. I think it takes, somebody wrote this the other day, and I loved it. It takes seeing the devastation of Mother Nature for people to actually see just the beauty of human nature.
Oh, wow.
And that's what we got to be able to see, is the beauty of human nature, and chiropractic playing a part in that, in the relief efforts that we have down there. I love chiropractic. Emmett, what's up, brother? Yeah, I love just who it is that we're a part of, including Dr. Emmett right there, and just the love that other chiropractors have, not only for humanity, but for each other, and seeing everybody come together was really cool.
Yeah, and I had an opportunity to spend some time with Dr. Tabor Smith out at ChiroFest a couple weekends ago, and he shared a really cool story with me about how you guys were actually adjusting the medical tent people too, and how there was nobody over at their their medical tent, but all of the people from medical tent were coming over to see what chiropractic was about, and you guys were adjusting them as well.
Absolutely. They're ready to go. We even had a nurse walk up, and she goes, you know what? She was just talking about how the medical system was failing, and she wanted to volunteer to be able to help out in any way that she could. And she ended up going down to Lumberton to take supplies down there to help out there. So it was really, really cool just to be able to see that. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And now it's time to transition for you. Yeah. I know our pregame chat, you wanted to ask me a couple questions because I guess that I might have some skills out there scheduling people in. So let's share with them some of my nuggets.
Absolutely. I want to hear this too, because we even had a health screening last night. And I know that because of us being friends on Facebook, there's been doctors that have been, behind the scenes going, hey, is that real? Jim going out there and screening and scheduling in over 200 people. Is that legit? What is he doing? So my question for you is, if somebody was wanting to do health screenings, and I know our office does them, and just because our mission is to be able to get what it is that we do out into the community, if somebody wants to do a health screening, what's the one nugget that you could give to somebody to be able to help them when they're doing a health screening or a spinal screening, or even communicating with anybody outside of their office about chiropractic to get them into their office?
Well, first things first, I appreciate you asking me that, because it's something that I've been formulating for the past 34 months. And I believe I'm an expert in the field for chiropractic marketing when it comes to harvesting the community, bringing people into offices. It's something I get, if you will, high off of, because I get a chance to be of service, and I get a chance to use my innate intelligence to bridge the gap between people's not knowing to make them convert and know quickly within a 2-minute rapport paradigm that I get. And the first things I'll tell anybody is to have high self-esteem, to be self-confident, and then to have a no rejection gene. So when you're out there towing the line with humanity, harvesting people into offices, anywhere you are, that you have to be able to meet people where they are, understand what their concerns are, build rapport immediately with them, and just be able to serve them. And a lot of times it's a personality thing. If you come into it flat and you don't have the energy to help people and be of service, then people pick up on your tone, your vibration. It's a chiropractic thing. But if you're well adjusted and your nervous system is clear, you can serve people at a higher level.
I love that, because the conference that I just got back from, there was high-level, successful people speaking, like Brendan Burchard was speaking, Lewis Howes was speaking, high level people, and two of the things that you just said were two of the core things that like every speaker had shared. One of those was your state or your energy, where it is that you're at, right? And making sure that you're vibrating at a high energy, right? And then another thing that you said was the self-confidence. What they talked about is just this self-love, right? So the more self-love you have, the more you can be able to allow things that people say to you. You said have that high rejection gene. The more that it just really doesn't matter what somebody says to us, because they're not commenting. It's not about our worth. They just don't want that right then, right? And so those two things that you just said, I think, are huge, regardless of who it is that we're talking to, especially talking chiropractic people.
And you know, I'll give another tip to people out there too. I'll tell you what my number one engager is.
Yeah.
Who are you looking for? A good chiropractor? That's what I say to people.
versus a crappy one? How do you answer that question? Well, yeah.
Well, I tell them I don't represent anybody that I don't respect, and I tell them that I'm only out there trying to get people healthy, and I have a real conversation with them after that. But it's so amazing when somebody's willing to give me their name, their number, their email address, all within 25 seconds. They tell me what their highest level of health concerns are, and then I tell them we can help you. And then
That's awesome.
And then I ask them if they're doing anything for their health concerns. And then I ask them if they've ever considered chiropractic. And then I tell them, would you like to hear about our phenomenal promotion today? And it's a yes, yes. And then people are right down the line. I ask them what works better for them, mornings, afternoons, or evenings. And if it's a Monday through Friday clinic or a Monday through Saturday clinic or a Monday through Thursday, I ask them what day's best. And then what we do is we schedule them for a good time, and then I collect money, and then they show up. And at this point, I have around a 70% show rate for people I've scheduled in.
Boom, that's awesome. That was going to be my next question is what's the show of those people that come in? And I think, one of the keys to that is that they pay money, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people that don't pay, they don't play. And the year of 2017 is pay to play. And if people are willing to put a little skin in the game, they show up to those appointments.
Absolutely. I remember having some people come to our office and screen as interns, and I never forget. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Dr. Rob, we scheduled 12 people yesterday." That was my next question: is did they pay? They go, "Nope." I'm like, 12 people are not coming into the office. It's just the reality.
Well, it's a whole paradigm that we have to follow. There's an A through Z process of everything. There's an A through Z process of you doing day ones, day twos. There's an A through Z process of getting somebody under care. There's like a whole linear process of scheduling someone in. There's a certain strategy to follow. There's a certain strategy to follow when you do your dinner with the doc talk. There's a certain strategy to follow when you make a Facebook ad. There's so many things that are very simple, but if you just follow a strategy that people that are, that have done this, and we've batted our heads against things, and we've fallen and scraped our hands and busted our knees up and just done all the heavy lifting for you. There's so much to learn from people from experience. And just like screening, man, like the people with the most experience are the ones to look to for the answers.
Absolutely. So you're saying that we should be purposeful with the things that we do, both to bring people into our office and in the office. So we should actually have systems for those things rather than actually winging it or doing those things like whenever we feel like it. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying everybody that's a high level performer in this world has some type of a system that they follow. And anybody that has any type of success in this world learns that. And if they learn it well, then they can teach it to others. Absolutely.
It's all about the duplication and replicatability. So love it. Yes, Dominique, I agree.
But, I actually love what I do for the chiropractic profession. I get to be somebody that's very unique in the marketplace. And a lot of times people are very confused by what Jim Chester does or where he came from. And, I recommend everybody to go check out the film chiropracticthedocumentary.com. I directed and produced that a couple years ago. And I just haven't given up the fire, man. And, early on, somebody tried to give me some advice on what to title our film. They told me to call it The Fire Inside. And I'm like, yeah, that's just me, though. I have the fire inside of me. But if we're going to communicate chiropractic to people, then we need to call it chiropractic. And that's why we titled it what we did, is so people could SEO it, and that would boost up when people are looking for chiropractic. So if you're looking for a chiropractor in Dallas, you might find you. But if you just search for chiropractic, you might find our film.
Brilliant. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Man, I appreciate you for what you do, man.
And, I wake up every day and I know that, the bad guys don't take a day off. I think it's a Bob Marley quote. The bad guys never take a day off, so why should I?
Exactly. That's such a crazy thing. People saying, I want a day off. You know what? When you know who you are and you do what it is that you love, it really is only days. It only is days on. And I'm not saying that as a Gary Vaynerchuk kind of thing, only days on. But I mean, really, when you know who you are and you do what it is that you love, you don't have days off. You just have days on. And
that's just it, man. I'm taking on that persona in chiropractic.
Love it.
The Chiro hustle movement's not just about me either. Like, I can't do it alone. I need, intelligent, high volume, producers out there that are the DCs, the supporters, like the Dave Majors of the world, the Chris Burfields of the world, the Billy Stickers of the world, non-chiropractors that are out there actually carrying the torch for chiropractic, a lot like me. So we're learning how to support each other as well. And,
Absolutely.
What we need to do is we need to teach the students not to have a poverty consciousness when they come out of school, not to be afraid of being in debt.
Absolutely. I agree. That's why one of my favorite things that we do is we always take on interns every semester at our office so that we can be able to pour into them so that they can be able to have that opportunity to be able to see the actual Chiro hustle in action so that they can be successful when they graduate. And so that's huge. And we make them work. We let them see what it's all about. So yeah.
And on top of that, I welcome any young DC or any seasoned DC that wants to learn how to do what I do. Come out to Denver. I'll put you onto one of my events with me. I'll let you go to work with me. I'll teach you the A through Z linear process of how to schedule massive amounts of people into your office or for your associateship so you can earn your keep too.
Wow, what a great opportunity. I'm going to write that down. I may be flying an intern to go hang out with you. What a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's just shooting from the hip and being real with people. And people like it when you're a transparent leader and when you offer opportunities to people. If they don't take up on it, that's their loss.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Totally agree.
So we're going to wrap up our live feed. Is there anything else you'd like to ask, or is there anything else you'd like to share with people about what you're doing or what's down the pike for you? Or, I don't know, you might have some more questions for me.
I'm just curious. Like, you tell me what's next for you? What's the next thing on your plate?
So that's a really cool question. I'm actually working with a guy named David Michael Toohill. He does all of Josh Access stuff.
It's a good friend of mine. So I love David.
And, we're really positioning ourselves to start doing a ton of video work for offices across the nation. We're gearing up to do video doctors reports. We're gearing up to do a ton of testimonials, clinic-specific commercials, meet the doc commercials, and then teaching them how to use those commercial spots and testimonial spots to drive new patients into their offices.
Wow, that's awesome. And I know between yourself and David, those videos are absolutely going to be first class for sure.
Yeah, and when you resonate and you vibrate, like we discussed earlier, at such a high level, you are such a beacon of light, and you get so many more opportunities when you serve at a high level. And, before I went out to ChiroFest, I just, randomly chatted with David because I was out there in Alaska and he was out there in Alaska, and he goes, I'm going to be at ChiroFest. I go, I am too. And, just when you put yourself into the right rooms with the right people that are vibrating at the right frequency, you get so many more opportunities coming to you.
Totally agree. It all goes back to that energy and that vibration.
And purpose, and the purpose, man.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool, man. Well, thanks for having me on. Do you have any other questions for me?
Well, I think that as the future goes on, we're going to create more of a friendship and a working relationship. And I can't wait till the point where we can come down and do some video work for you. And we can use you as one of our benchmark clinics to share the secret of what Dr. Rob is doing down there in the Dallas, Texas area.
Absolutely. Let's plan on that for sure. So let's get it done.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you get back to running your busy day, and I'm going to jump off too. But everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us on this Chiro Hustle daytime session. And Dr. Rob, if there's any links that you want to put in about the SET oil or about anything that you're doing with your clinic, go ahead and put that into the chat feed there.
Absolutely.
But
Will do.
We're going to sign off today with the Chiro Hustle crew, and thank you guys for joining Dr. Rob and me, and I love and appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great day.